I am Red Cyclone! Ah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Merc with the mic.
What is up? What is up?
What is happening, my good sir?
Well, I
Is
guess
that ring? It is Elden. Is what it is.
Yeah. How you liking it?
I saw skeletons in a hot air balloon. What? What? This game is weird. Is what I have to say. It's very weird. It's very good. So what it is like the successor to Dark Souls, right?
Yep.
Except this time they have a story written by, or at least mostly supervised by George R.R. Martin. Like that's the big get. And I know Game of Thrones guy. So
Game of Thrones. I love
supposed to
Game of
be-
Thrones.
yeah.
Dragons and titties.
So that's like the big collaboration. There are no bare breasts in this game. Dark Souls doesn't really do that. But
Missed opportunity.
there's a lot of dragons. there's yes, but there's a lot of dragons. I
Yeah.
will say that 100%. I've seen no less than like 5 dragons already. But what it does itself is it's a Souls game, and that's like a third person action adventure type of game.
Yeah.
Right. So you got your short swords, long swords. You have types of magic. You have spells. Like you can throw fire. You can summon holy light and blah blah blah. So it has that also, I guess, traditional Dungeons and Dragons type of element to
Yeah.
it, because I'm very early in. But what they said in the marketing and stuff, and like interviews, was that as far as a lot of the elements they put in, they wanted to go more like old fantasy
Yeah.
and Western fantasy. So this is not really like a Japanese fantasy or anything just influenced by FromSoft.
Yeah.
So you'll have some creatures from like you might notice from Western mythology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks like a more like. Well, you're gonna get the comparison to Skyrim.
Yeah.
That has
And-
a lot of Skyrim feel to it.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a
Actually,
positive way.
like the size of the game, it seems like that's what they were going for in size.
Yeah.
With like the world being just as big as it is, but it's also, see, people's first impressions was that it seemed to not have a lot going on, but it's kind of hard to say because you don't want the feel to just be, oh man, I can't move without getting into a fight.
Yeah.
So in that way, it at least lets you go from encounter to encounter, and you don't feel like, man, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I can't do this. This is too much. So on the overworld, it's kind of easy going because you can just run away.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to fight that thing. You can just get on a horse and run.
Like peace.
And that's one of the things I think they did a good job. They didn't gate that. That's very early. But here's the thing. The world is so big, and it will allow you to keep going forward in a direction until like you bang your head and get something that forces you to stop. That I did not get like basic crafting elements in like the tutorial for that stuff because I went a different direction.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is you could end up having different playthroughs per person.
Yeah.
And like at least in the beginning, while everybody's still getting used to how the game is and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna hear people say, "Oh yeah, I did this," and you'd be like, "What? I never even saw that."
That's cool. That's a cool thing. A cool aesthetic of it too.
So like, I like that because that's how big the game is. It's not.
You're not forced to play
not-
the way.
I don't want to say overwhelming, but it's like it's big enough that they put a lot of stuff in here where you could just not have the same experience for a good chunk of the hours. So that's cool.
That's cool. That is cool. What class you started?
PC version is not on fire, but it is not optimal.
Okay.
So that's what I can speak from.
There you go.
I hear the consoles are the best versions. I hear PS5 is the best one, and Series X is like right there with it. So that's
Yeah, I heard like little lax on Series X, and then the PS5 has been running smooth right now, as of right now.
cool. Mhm.
Well, it probably still has little things here and there. That's all games. What class you started?
So, and because I know how these games work, and the classes, for the most part, don't really. You'll have a good experience getting into the game no matter what class you pick, except for like the one that gives you nothing. I chose the samurai because it comes with the katana and a bow.
Yep.
Like not really for the armor and stuff. Like that's whatever placeholder stuff. That's what they do to identify you with the class. But like you kind of really, I think they undersell this with Souls games when it comes to new people, but your equipment actually matters a lot more than your class.
Yeah.
Like your stats or whatever, like as long as you don't mess them up completely, you'll be able to do what it is you want.
Yeah.
But like the equipment actually matters because you can't find a katana that easy. Like you have to, I was telling you, Merc, man, the skeletons in this game are bad. They are rotten. Because in this game, they changed around how you deal with them. Before, it was as long as you killed the necromancer.
Yeah.
You can stop him from spawning. And in this game, there's no necromancer. You just have to use holy element. And you don't get that for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So the skeletons are kind of like a gate. If you can't like find a way to deal with them and get them out of the way, they can stop you from getting a lot of stuff done. So like if you go a certain way and find the holy thing first, like your gameplay actually changes completely. So this is not. And then you go holy element and say for instance you picked whichever class gives you the most in faith. Or right there, you got a big advantage early on. So you're gonna find some cool stuff in that early. So it really depends on which direction you go with the class you pick. Because I could tell some places, if you got magic, it's gonna be mad easy.
Cool.
And some places where there's like physically weaker enemies that they probably shoot at you from a distance. I bet you get you a good shield and you run up on them. Yeah, that you gonna make them wish you weren't there. But you probably have a heavy build, right? You probably have a club or you probably have a mace or something. So
Nice.
like you can switch it up. And then the thing is, I hear this like it's not given to you at the start, but they understand that respecing as a mechanic is a thing. So at some point you'll be able to switch it up.
Nice.
So I think the biggest thing that I take away from this game is that it has the most quality of life, right? It's the biggest game obviously by size.
Yeah.
But I think the best part of it is all the lessons they learn getting here. Because like there's a lot of quality of life stuff that they just changed. Like it can't, man, the first few games are kind of rough.
Okay.
They just are. I just mean because they were 360 games. There were some things that even when you think about a 360 game, there was just some stuff that wasn't implemented, like menu wise, the weapon skills and stuff didn't even exist in the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's whole other things, and then there's that mechanic that they changed that up now. You can take the skills that you have on your weapons and you can switch them to other ones as long as it's compatible. So you could do some funky stuff that I haven't messed with a lot, but I think a lot of this stuff makes it a more playable game.
Nice.
If you're having a harder time and you start going, okay, let me look at what I actually found in this game and then start messing with it, you'll find that, oh, if I put this here, that's kind of busted. And then like you'll see the game is like, oh yeah, just experiment with stuff. So I know at the end is gonna be like, oh, here's the best build for this and the best, but that happens at every game, right?
Yeah.
But like I like that it's not that you're not super locked into anything, and if there's a boss that's whooping your ass,
Yeah.
there's kind of like just go fight other enemies somewhere else and you'll get your equivalent of souls, right?
Yeah.
And you'll level up.
Nice.
And then you can go back to the boss and you could have a less hard time.
Not,
Like, it's not gonna be.
You're not gonna whoop
it's
his
not gonna
ass,
be
but
easy.
you gonna give a challenge.
Yeah, like it's just because of how the experience works. Like, the bosses get the biggest experience chunks, so you gotta kill him some point, but he ain't gonna be a pushover.
Yeah.
So like, I like that.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, it looks good. That the art design is like is high tier. It's high tier. I won't say it's top tier. I say it's in the same tier as Breath of the Wild, but because Breath of the Wild also has very, very specific Zelda only Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is things you're only gonna find in that world. That's why you can't really go. I would give it an edge over that game, but like this could, because this goes for real. Let's be honest. It's not really stylized. It's like realistic, right?
Yeah.
If there was a giant arch tree from Software made what a giant arch tree would look like. Is what I'm saying. And to that end, it's like they did the work to make everything like look like it belongs where it belongs, right?
Nice.
So it's really good.
That's good. That sounds good. I'm actually interested in playing it. I've been watching gameplay. I've been watching some people play it. It looks interesting. So right now I'm on Horizon Forbidden West, and that game is also a big game. Very beautiful game too, mind you. Like, it's a very, very pretty game, and I'm enjoying it as well. So once I finish that big ass long open world game, I'll try to go into this big ass harder open world game.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They're all open worlds. Too many worlds to open. But those are the kind of games I like. I like those long period of games. It makes my $70 worth or $60 worth the price.
I hear you.
Because I would try to plan a bit. And I heard the platinums are not that easy on those games either. Like, this person I follow, she said she was playing the game for about 4 hours and still has not got a trophy yet.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
So that's cool. That is cool. Let me earn that shit. But yeah, Elden Ring. Yeah, it came out Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
On all the consoles. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PC. Is it on the last gen too?
Yeah.
It's on the PS4.
And that's one of the things I can tell. It's not holding the system back, because the engine was like, this is the final version of whatever engine that was. So it was gonna be what it was. But graphically, it's just like, that's the only thing that you could really say, oh yeah, they couldn't do this. I think the PC version doesn't have. I think the PS5 doesn't have it either yet. Is ray tracing.
Oh, okay.
Which would be patched in later. So like, there's some things that it just, because it was made on a PS4 type engine game. You know,
Yeah, that makes sense. But also the fact that, like, a PS5, things like that, you kind of want those still to be able to get it on PS4 Pro.
Yeah, that's in the real thing. Like realistically, yes.
Yeah.
But like, the history with this game is like, there's actually. It was already being made after the third one, so like, there was a whole other like game that they put out, which is Sekiro. Yeah. And this one was still being worked on. People thought it wasn't gonna happen. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. But. So
like, this was just, it's kind of a victim of thinking big, because it was a long time, right?
Yeah. But at least you got it. It's out.
Yeah, and it's good. It's not a Cyberpunk. I'm 100% happy.
Yeah. So we just got breaking news of a new Pokemon game coming out late 2020. Oh shit, it's this year, late 2022.
So that means maybe by June they'll have
November.
a direct for it or something? No, I mean a direct for it, maybe.
Yeah,
they don't
July.
wait that. They don't wait the entire, like, they don't wait maybe that close to
like
it,
E3.
right? Yeah, I forgot about E3.
It's like E3 time, or that summer game fest, whatever the fuck it called. Kevin Neely does. But yeah, they announced new Pokemon Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, and they showcased their first 3 Pokemon. One is a grass cat, one is a water duck, and the other one is a fire. I don't know what it is. It looks like a little. It looks like a T-Rex, but his body hasn't grown to his head.
That's funny. Okay.
So I might go with Donald Duck because he kind of looked like Donald Duck with a little perm. So I might go with that one. The grass cat looks cute too. But they already established their first 3 Pokemon. They kind of show pictures of the open world is going to be. They are promising this to be open world, but they promised the last 2 games to be open world too, and it's kind of like not so open. The other one is kind of the last one that came out is more open than the others.
Yes.
So yeah, that's coming supposedly. Yeah, probably November, December. Probably get our first look again, like June, July.
I mean, I don't play them, so I can't. I have no real opinion.
Yeah.
I hope one day they get to where they go in the direction where I think that Coliseum and them were going with the just in terms of the art direction and like how the pictures look cool, man.
Yeah.
So I just want a cool ass Pokemon game.
Cool. Yeah, I same here. I want something that's entertaining and not the same thing over and over again, and that's the problem I have with a lot of them. It's pretty much the same game.
Like they need to work with Platinum.
Yeah.
It'll never happen, but Pokemon needs to work with Platinum. They need to be a
like
Platinum
the Pokemon combo system.
Hell yeah! Are you kidding me? Yo,
Pikachu come out.
One of my favorite Pokemon was Blaziken.
Yeah.
Because he looked badass. But Blaziken was never in a game where he could do anything badass, really, except like Coliseum.
Yeah.
Because that was like the one game where they gave him like some animations.
Yeah.
And then he was in the fighting game. Right?
Yeah. Smash.
And that's it.
Yeah.
No, but you can't control him like 100% directly in Smash. Yeah. But like, that's what I'm saying. Pokemon, Mark, if they made a beat 'em up, or like a belt scroller or something like that with Pokemon, where like say you fought Team Rocket, dude, that shit would be so cool, but it would never happen because it's Nintendo, and it would be a crazy walking down the street fighting.
It would be a crazy game because you just be a guy just throwing balls out and you use them as a combo.
Hell yes, dude.
Hey, that'd
be awesome.
Hey, I'll play it.
But
it sounds interesting.
Like, come on, why'd you say that? Now I can't not think about that. That's awesome.
No, that actually sounds like an interesting concept. Imagine like, and then you having to do the combos, but the combos you're not really fighting with the guy, you're fighting with the Pokemon. So you'll have your 6, and you could combine like the electric type and fire type moves together, and they do like Shoryukens and like trying to uppercuts and air
do
combos
whatever.
and shit.
Blaziken will do Blaze Kick, and then you'll get all the cool names. You'll get Hydro Pump and all that stuff. Like, and it'll have a specific animation per Pokemon.
That'd be crazy.
I'm sure they couldn't put 300, 500, 1,000.
You put
the
base 50.
But if you put 60,
put the original 50, original to 100.
I mean, 100 is ambitious.
Yeah.
But like as a beat 'em up, I would say put like 50 to 60, like with DLC across all the generations. Dude, that would be like probably the best beat 'em up ever if they got the right people to make it.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Nintendo, listen to our cast, please.
Yeah, I know. I know. So, I mean, listen. Sometimes we be getting ideas. They just be good.
Yeah.
Who's listening? Who's listening and stealing ideas? I don't know. Wrestling, man, they be listening sometimes.
Yeah, we said a lot of things and they took it right from us. We take full credit.
Yes, sir.
As we should.
They don't pay us, but we take the credit.
So they showed some first photos of the Seth Rogen's Ninja Turtles.
I thought you was gonna say of Seth Rogen as DK. I was to say, oh Lord, I needed to see it.
I'm looking forward to that too. Yeah. He's gonna be a pothead monkey.
Why is there always a cloud of smoke around DK? I don't understand.
Why smoking bananas? Just puffing up bananas.
Bananas, they don't burn good, man. No.
Yo, did we talk about? Did you see the Chippendale Rescue Ranger trailer?
No, I did not. I just know it exists in some way, shape, or form, and that I was partially interested, but I think it wasn't in the real world. So I was like, what?
But the way they're doing it, it looks like it's gonna be like a Roger Rabbit kind of feel to it.
Okay.
Because one is gonna be it's produced by the Lonely Boys, which is Andy Samberg's group and shit. So it's gonna be a funny movie. It's gonna be more adult oriented. Like, do you even see Roger Rabbit in the movie?
Wait, as in
he's in the movie,
inside? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so is it the first thing he's ever been in since Roger Rabbit? Like,
yeah.
Damn.
So it kind of has a concept of it being like a behind the laughter kind of thing, like a behind the music kind of documentary thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts off like that. The trailer kind of starts off with that, and then it's like Chippendale Rescue Rangers. They used to be fan favorites and things like that. Where have they been now and things like that. And then when you first see them, you see Chip still in the full animated form, and then you see Dale, see him again, and he's like, "Oh, I see you got the CGI, the CGI, like he kind of got like a plastic surgery done for the CGI."
So he looks like.
So he's like CGI Dale.
Well, wasn't there a Chippendale? Not Chippendale. The other chipmunks weren't they CGI at some point too?
Yeah, well, Alvin and Chipmunks, yes, they had like 3.
Yeah, so he got the Alvin and Chipmunks.
So he went and got the CGI procedure done. So he CGI.
Okay.
They made cheese into like crack, and Monty Ray Jack he became like a heroin addict for cheese and shit.
Oh no.
The movie looks like fucking hilarious. It looks like it's gonna be like something different and something like just out of this world. Like, especially coming from Disney in that sense. And I'm like, oh shit, this actually might be really funny. Check out the trailer. You might like it, and it might be funny. It might be really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's something in your wheelhouse that I think you're gonna like. Like, it's not a kids movie. It's not aimed for kids. It's not aimed for kids. It's aimed for the people that watched it when they were kids.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's where it's gonna go. Like, I saw that trailer, and I was surprised. I was really surprised about it. I was like, I thought we were gonna get like maybe a remaster of the show, or something like more of a kid, like kind of like Alvin and Chipmunks. Like, it's more kid friendly movie. It is not.
Okay, gotcha. That sounds very interesting. Actually.
Yeah, it actually looks cool. Yeah, I was not sure if I mentioned that to you. There was another thing. Hasbro just announced they've been doing these animated series figures. They have one of Wolverine, they have Mr. Sinister and Jubilee so far.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in a case that looks like a VHS case.
Yes.
The next one up is Storm.
Oh yeah, that's the one you showed me now, like the box of Bootios.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I might, you know what? I'm actually looking at these now, and I'm liking the way they look. Like, I might have to get these now because I like the way the boxes look. I actually will put it like a stack, like a VHS stack.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping for Cyclops.
I mean, I'm surprised, right?
No one likes Cyclops. I think we're the only 2 people that will possibly say good things about Cyclops.
I respect Cyclops.
I like Cyclops.
You know what I'm saying? As a character, I respect what he is there for.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be like, even like in Sonic 2. I'm actually really looking forward to Sonic 2 because I think that's gonna be a really good movie as well.
Wait, who's getting talking about the guy Cyclops?
No, I just happened to see the picture of Sonic 2. But Cyclops, I hope they do the X-Men 92 Cyclops in the figure form for like the animated series. So honestly, Rogue will definitely sell me to buying it. I really want Rogue. Yeah. So yeah, X-Men. I think Hasbro was announcing a bunch of shit this week. I didn't pay attention to it because it's not really shit that I collect. It was like more of in in G.I. Joe and Transformers and Star Wars and shit like that. So it was stuff like that was coming in. What else? I don't know what else. Yeah. That was it. Oh, McFarlane announced that he's doing some Ninja figures as well.
Okay, cool beans.
I'm like, okay. They're making too many Ninja figures.
I mean, now's the time, right? It is what it is.
I think everyone's making one now. They're like very loose with that little license. Like, yeah, go ahead. Why not? Make us money.
Yeah, make that money.
So, anything else?
No, that's about it.
There was one thing. Let me just see real fast. Yeah. The wrestling WWE's coming out like right around the corner. The 2K22. I was actually watching some of the trailers for the GM mode, and it kind of got me interested.
Okay, that's good. At least it's a positive impression.
Yeah, like it has like it kind of reminds me of, I think it was the second one. It was probably 2012 SmackDown vs. Raw.
Okay.
I think it reminds me of that one more than anything. I think that was the one that Xavier and Breeze used for their show, their Battle of the Brands.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Oh, this was what I was going to bring up. So, Turtles announced on their comic book, the IDW comic on issue 27, they are debuting a former character. You want to guess the character?
Well, I think you showed me, right?
I think I did show you. Did I show you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did. It looks cool as hell.
Yeah. So, Mona Lisa. Venus de Malo. There you go. Venus de Malo is getting a comic debut, and it looks like she's like a cyborg-ish. But like I said, like if they had a good storyline for her, I think someone could build a good storyline and introduce her as a new character. So I was 100% for that, because Next Mutation is bad. So
now this character, how many different tries have there been at trying to make her a thing?
So, one, and that was the Next Mutation. 2012 kind of just did an Easter egg as her being like a sticker on their van.
And that's it?
And that was it.
Okay.
So this is like the first time after Next Mutation that they actually used this character.
Understood.
Which gives me hope on them ever, because there's a character that was originally supposed to debut back in the day called Kirby. That was kind of what Slash became, but they never actually made the character. It was based on Jack Kirby, and I really would like to see someone write that comic into in the IDW comic, because I think he could be a really crazy character. So hopefully that'll be the next character they'll surprise people with. But yeah, Venus de Malo, they makes their debut issue 27 next month in the Turtle comic.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's all I got.
Oh, have you with that series in particular, is that one that you've been keeping up on?
I am behind, but I have been catching up to it. So I might be on the 8th volume of the comic. I think they're up to 16.
Okay, cool.
So I'm little by little getting caught up with it. I just got to I think it's called this is like the big gang war. I think it was the night. This is when kind of Leonardo went to the Shredder side, and he has like a black ear and shit like that. That's where I'm at, and that's maybe, I think that's volume 12 or something like that. It's like the city. I forgot what it's called, but it's a big gang war from Shredder's gang to the Purple Dragons to other gangs and shit like that. And Leo infiltrates the Shredder and actually helps Shredder defeat the gang so the Turtles could defeat Shredder.
Really? Wow.
So it's a good book. It's been really good with IDW. They do a lot of good storylines. They killed Donatello. They brought Donatello back. They introduced Bebop and Rocksteady because they were never in the comic before until now. Be surprised, right? They debuted in the comic like a couple years ago. They never were in the comic before that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of cool things. I actually been looking at the old Archie stuff too, since they started showing some of the old cartoon, the comic book figures that are coming out. And I remember how just silly those comics were. And I went back and read the first couple of issues, and they were really silly and surprisingly adult. They had like a very fun sense of humor to them, but they didn't really take itself seriously, so it was able to get that comedy in those comics. It was actually really fun.
Okay. Cool. Wait, do you know anybody that from all that stuff that stood out for their work on it? Is there like who's the number one modern Turtles like storyteller? It's not the original guys anymore, right?
Nah, they haven't. They'll do covers here and there, but they haven't really done anything. They'll do comic book covers and stuff like that.
And that's it.
But to be honest, like I can't tell you the name. I don't pay attention enough to who draws them as much. I will say the person that's been wanting the IDW because they've been on it for a long time.
Gotcha.
So I'll give you the name of the person. I got it right here. Yeah, the 2010 IDW launch. Yeah, so the comic books recently, like the IDW comics, they kind of shared writers with the 2012 series. So a lot of the ideas back and forth between them was actually a lot of, you could tell which on it. But yeah, I can't tell you like the standouts anymore because they switch artists and writers a lot here and there. So I know the artists did for a while, but the writers I can't really tell you.
Understood.
I gotta look at that more, and then I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Because I know the main artist that was on like the first maybe 12 volumes of the trades. They were there for a long time. They wound up going on to doing some of the Power Ranger books, and also they did the Power Ranger and Ninja Turtle team up.
Oh, same person.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Okay.
there's something like that. Like this funny thing is because you talk about that, I could think about someone with the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. That you'd be surprised who wrote the Sonic the Hedgehog comic for the first 12 issues. I think it was the first 12 issues. There's a very famous writer that wrote for Sonic, and that was his first comic book that he wrote for. Line up writing Civil War, line up writing Kingsman, line up writing Kick-Ass, line up writing Chrononauts and shit like that, Mark Millar.
Okay.
He wrote Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was his first comic.
That's cool.
And Sonic the Hedgehog now, I think, is the longest running kids comic to this day.
Wow, okay. That's cool.
Been running since 1990.
There were no lines. There were no comic book lines before that. That's weird.
Sonic the Hedgehog, he had multiple comic books, but his main run is still running today.
Wow,
They just
really
changed
weird.
from Archie to IDW. Scott
All right, that's cool. No, I just find that weird. There's no Bugs Bunny or a classic character that has a comic book, a kid's comic that runs longer than Sonic. That's
because a
crazy.
lot of kids comic books get canceled maybe 50 because again. The comic books have to sell, and the thing is, Sonic always been a very popular sell with kids. It's always in the top 25 comic books sold and things like that. You'd be surprised. Like I've always said this about Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog has a bigger lineage outside of the video game sometimes because his cartoons and comic books are very popular.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Go Sonic.
I mean, I'm glad he has good movies because those games are up and down, up and down.
Well, at least we had Sonic Mania.
Yeah, it took a long time to get there.
It did, but we got it.
It really did.
All right.
What's the next one of those? Is there wasn't there supposed to be a Sonic Mania too?
Yeah. There's no
There is,
word on
right?
it though.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
At least that's good.
Want to get into this movie?
Yes, sir. So this week's movie, this is still a part of the comic book and superhero movies from 1978 until 2000,
Yep.
right? Well, this one barely edges in because the U.S. date is November 2001.
Yeah.
But apparently it debuted in Spain October 8th, 2000. So
That's how it made the list.
yes, it squeaked in on a technicality.
There you go.
But this week's movie is Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger 4. And it is, let's see, what they don't have the rating here.
Oh, it's rated.
Where's
It's
the
rated
rating?
R.
You sure it's not rated X?
No, it's rated R.
Or NC-17?
Nah, it's rated R.
Oh,
Rated R
okay.
comedy horror.
Okay. Where's the time for it? How long is this movie? Like, I
This
need to
was
see all
about
that info.
hour and
Let's
48
see it.
minutes.
Was it?
Hour 49
It
minutes.
didn't seem. Okay.
It felt long. I'll say it felt. There was times that I was like, "Wow, this is actually quite long for all this nonsense."
It was so much random, just randomness that was happening that I kind of lost track of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that says about this movie. It's just going crazy, man. You know, this movie just was nonstop. Just and this is 2000, technically 2001, but 2000, they can't make this no more.
No.
So anyway, it's directed by Lloyd Kaufman, very much known. What is it for? Was it Trauma Team?
Trauma Team. Yeah.
But he is also synonymous with Toxic Crusader,
Yep.
Toxic Avenger. The writing credits, Trent Haga. There's a grip, but let's see. It's Trent Haig. I guess how you pronounce that. Patrick Cassidy, Gabriel Freeman, Lloyd Kaufman, which is familiar. I think that's obviously we know who that is. Sean Collins, Matt Levin, Joe Ritter, Adam Jake. None of these people I think stood out to anything, but they are also like if you check their IDBs, there's a bunch of like pulp stuff, horror stuff.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of them
That's some-
also did like a lot of the other movies like Trauma. I think Trauma
Mhm.
School and shit like that. So
makes
or
sense,
Nuke
makes
High
sense.
School. Or I forgot the name of it.
Oh, Nukem High, I think. it is.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So that's the team. They're basically the team players.
Yeah.
So cast, David Matty is the Toxic Avenger / Noxious Offender.
Yeah.
It has here Chester's fellatio customer. All right, that's very interesting. Clyde Lewis as the Toxie voice.
Yep.
Heidi Juriston. I assume that's
Claire and
sis.
Sarah.
As Sarah / Claire. Paul Kimmers as Sergeant Kabuki Man, Evil Kabuki Man. Joe Fleischhaker as Chester / Lardass. That's pretty funny. Dan Snow, Sergeant Kaczynski, Michael Bodinger, Tito. Lisa Terzaki, Sweetie Honey. Barry Briscoe as Pompey, which is funny. It looks like Pompeii, but it's pronounced Pompey. It says it in the movie. Debbie Roshan as Miss Wiener. Ron Jeremy as Mayo Goldberg. Corey Feldman as Sarah's gynecologist.
Yeah.
Trent Haga, who's on the writing team, I see, as Tex Diaper.
Yep. We got Mark Targle as Evil Melvin. He came back with this movie.
That's pretty funny. Yes.
James Gunn was Dr. Flem Hawkins.
Flem Hawkins.
Yeah, Eli Roth as beautiful young
Who? Where?
I don't know what. It don't tell me the whole title of the name. It's like beautiful young boy. It was Eli Roth.
That's funny.
Hank
the angry drunken dwarf. Wasn't he in Impact Wrestling?
I think
With
so.
a gun? I think that's who that was. He plays God.
Yeah, Stan Lee as the narrator of the movie.
Yeah, that's like a real shot. This movie is vulgar, man.
Yeah, Kevin Eastman as Toxie. I don't know who that was, but Kevin Eastman was in this movie.
No, Noxie.
Yeah.
Not like the other guy. I think so. What? He was the voice of Noxie then.
Yeah, it was Kevin Eastman. Yeah.
So that's what? Which one is that? I forget.
That's the creator of Ninja Turtles.
Well, aren't there two guys? Or
it's Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Kevin Eastman is the one with the black hair.
Okay.
He's the one that did a lot of dumb ideas, and then he got lucky that Peter Laird loved him and gave him some rights back.
Yeah, there's history there with that guy.
Hugh Hefner was the president of the United States.
Well, they said this funny. There's a note on it about him wanting to be taken out.
Yeah,
because they thought his people thought they were taking advantage of him. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you just run down. There's a ton of cameos of lesser known people, but just when you see the numerous like names for the people,
yeah,
for the this movie is ridiculous. It really is. Glamorous Gyno American. What?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Porno set crew member, abortion protester. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Grotto boy, like the grotto penis boy. Like, there's a lot of just weird ass situations and events that happen in this movie. It starts crazy, it ends crazy. It starts with like a hostage situation in a classroom for special needs children. There is no type of PC here. They are called everything. Hard R, full R, all the way. The bandits are the diaper gang.
The diaper mafia.
Diaper mafia, excuse me.
Diaper mafia.
And they want to be taken seriously, so they have to kill hostages.
Just take your pamper off and wear pants.
And it's ridiculous. There's so much nonsense. That guy, he's like just beating up the special needs children. The main guy, shooting. Eventually, he shoots one of them. He shoots like two of them playing.
Yeah, he shoots two of them. He goes crazy on one of them, bro.
Yeah, he goes crazy on the one that hit him.
Yeah.
There's the girl. There's two girl members. One of them just ends up full on having sex with one of the. They're students, man.
Yeah.
This is not right. They're just one of them just has sex with them. The other one just beats like two of them in the head with her breast the entire time.
Beats the shit out of them with her titties.
Just beating, like, it's violent. It's if it wasn't hilarious, you'd be like, yo, she gotta hit that person mad hard. Yo, it's crazy. It's still, so like the production value is still very low. The budget of this movie, I believe, is $500,000. I think it might be less. It's extremely low budget, but that's in style with the movie. It's D tier acting, right? They're hamming it up the entire time. It's a serious plot, but like we're a step away from people breaking out and laughing. The special effects, because we get that here. We have Toxie.
Yeah.
New Toxie, 2000s Toxie, right? Different mask.
Yeah.
We also just have the incredible practical effects, because like I said, one of the special needs guys, while the leader of the gang is giving his address to the police, he slaps him a little too hard with the stick that he was playing a pinata with the pregnant teacher's stomach.
Yeah.
It's this movie is ridiculous. He just saying this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that's what was happening before he got shot to death.
Yeah.
And it's just in gruesome fashion. Like everything, the kills are up close. Because remember, Toxic Avenger is like it's a superhero movie, but like the hero destroys the villains.
Yeah.
Like destroys the villains.
Yeah, they don't come back.
Well, most of them. No, in this movie, this is funny because this movie they do come back because of the alternate universes.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of is a plot point. He's like, didn't I kill you? Like, God, didn't you learn when I disemboweled you and shoved your head up your own ass and killed you with your own type? Oh my goodness! Like, the first scene is probably like best. Well, no, it's not the best scene.
There's a lot of
That's some of the best moments. Say that again, bro.
There's a lot of ridiculousness in this movie, and there's a lot of shit that I honestly will say like maybe 8 to 9 times on this movie. I just like rub my face like, what the fuck am I watching? And that was a lot of questioning of myself watching this movie, but it came to a point that it was enjoyable, as bad as as a campy. I won't say bad as campy. It was a campy movie, and this movie was made for the audience that love Toxic Avenger, love those movies. So that was their main focal point. It's like, hey, you like Toxic Avenger, you don't like this movie.
Yeah, you like Toxic Avenger, and we want to offend people.
Yeah,
it's like the number 2 because there's super sensitive issues. Because this is a few years after Columbine, they make fun of the Trenchcoat Mafia.
Yeah,
that was the 2 guys. Unfortunately, they made the movie starts with a school shooting. Basically, they're just shooting up the school of special people.
Yeah.
And then they eventually blow it up. His sidekick, Toxie, eventually makes it. His sidekick is this morbidly obese man named Lardass.
Yep.
And they fail to. Toxie's race gets a hold of him. The guy tells him, "If you kill me, the bomb's gonna go off and kill everybody in 5 seconds." And that's hilarious how they stretch out the timer. He literally has enough time to go home and impregnate his wife because they're trying to have a baby in the middle of trying to save the school from the bomb explosion. And so, again, as gruesome and as like exaggerated as it is, they do make a point to have just like when you pay attention to what's exactly is going on, it's like, oh, this is ridiculous in a funny way. Also, you know what I mean? So that's a lot of this movie and a lot of why I like it more, because the direct sequels fell off track, I feel, and this one they own up to it, they make fun of it, and a lot of the people from the original ones are in here.
Yeah,
like you see them as the reprising their roles, like the original the black dude, the gang leader, the bald head. He's just like this ridiculously in character but not in character Nazi.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that he was like the mastermind behind everything the entire time. Yeah. Because he saw when the evil Toxie showed up from the time jump or whatever, when the explosion happened. And he was scheming on trying to get that Toxie to take over the city and like use him to eventually bring back the Nazis or make it habitable for the Nazi group. It's so at some point Toxie fights Nazis with a mop and kills one, and it just has the scene where he stabs one of the dudes in the head and is using him just to like swat off the other. Like, it's crazy. This movie's insane. Yeah, it's insane. If you describe almost anything from any scene, somebody would think you're insane. Like, why did you sit there and watch this? There's a lot of them. There's a lot. It's nonstop. You got 2 babies fighting in the womb to the death. One with a toupee on. Meanwhile, the fathers are outside fighting each other and having duel of the fates. And him trying to attack him with his tech. He has a gigantic, because Toxie's a mutated freak, so he has a mutated monster penis, and he uses it to, I guess he wants to, the idea is, again, the crux of the story ends up being that there's like a time jump, there's a rift from the explosion in the special needs school, and that brought forth the other Toxie from an alternate universe where Tromaville is terrible and he's terrible. Yeah. So there can only be one in the space, they say, So he's going to destroy him, and that's going to be his way to devour the other one, I guess, because that's his secret weapon.
Yeah.
But it ends up exploding and killing, and that being his weakness. And then the original Melvin,
Yeah.
well, or his original self comes out of the destroyed It's insane. It's insane.
It is insane.
It's insane.
And she gave birth to a kabuki baby, and
Yeah. Turns out it was the Kabuki cop the whole time, and it's just like
he raped her.
he was trying. Yeah, and there's definitely rape in this movie.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a scene where they go to the alternate world, and Toxie's traveling with 2 special needs children, and immediately the alternate universe version of the gang members that he killed gruesomely is immediately back on their bullshit, trying to rape the girl from the class.
Yeah.
But they're different now. They're gimps now. None of it makes sense, and they think Toxie's evil. So he's like, "Hey man, you want to help us?" And they have this earnest look on their face, and then they're like, they're extremely saddened when he's like, "Do I have to kill you guys again?" Nothing is crazy. It's insane, and it's done in live action in freaking practical effects. Was like, that's kind of the main reason I give it like the props.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's CG in this movie, is there?
No, it's mostly practical effects. Like, that's how that guy made his movies. So all the money went on the practical effects.
Yeah. And then I think Ron Jeremy is the new mayor, and he dies gruesomely with a cross through his fucking throat, like, because he's a creep pervert.
Yep.
On the low that tells everybody to pray to Jesus. But he's like he introduces the creepy superheroes like Dolphin Man. Which is an actual dolphin.
Fucking udder.
The udder and the 2 guys, the masturbator that got mashed together into a mashup rapper.
Yeah.
Who just beats off all over the place. But he has a superpower. It makes no sense.
The vibrator, and she can't
the
fucking
vibrator.
do anything.
They don't save anything. They're just idiots and degenerates, basically. Or mutants. They're basically mutants.
Yes, this movie was just something. It was something. If you could stomach it for a lot of it, I'll say watch it. And it's entertaining.
If you're easily offended, you can't. I don't think people will watch it.
If you're easily offended, this is a hard one to get through. But
it's a hard one to get through because you're just gonna be like, I can't believe that, but it's 2000.
Yeah.
It's a different ass time, a different ass place. Yeah. Like, I'm surprised, but I will say, in all seriousness, I'm surprised I didn't hear more about this from a controversial standpoint, because we saw Postal. This is more controversial than Postal.
Yeah.
For sure. The subject matter.
Yeah. Way
more out there than Postal.
Yeah.
So, how this went under the radar? I guess Trauma Team is Trauma Team. They earned themselves a reputation, and you know what you're getting. I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I think it was? Also, not even just time and place. I think people were willing to accept the fact that if you have a reputation, there's no point in crying.
Yeah.
If we know this is the stuff you make, we didn't get tricked into watching this.
Yeah.
We came here for this.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably in part what it is, because they have a dedicated fan base. Trauma Team does.
Yep.
Like, that's undeniable. So yeah.
So
it is what it is.
But you gave this
3.5.
And it is your number 32.
Okay.
I also gave it a 3.5. And it is actually it's in my 26.
Gotcha.
There you go. Our top 10 still, mine's is Turtles 1, RoboCop 2, The Mask 3, Batman 4, RoboCop 2 is 5, The Crow 6, Superman 2 is 7, Blankman 8, Man in Black 9, and Blade is number 10. For yours is RoboCop 1, Turtles 2, RoboCop 2 is 3, Batman's 4, Toxic Avengers 5, Superman 2 is 6, The Mask is 7, Men in Black is 8, Blankman is 9, and 10 is Blade.
Yes, sir.
We are down to the final 4. Our next movie is The Krell Salvation.
Okay.
I do remember this movie. I actually watched it.
Okay.
Kristen Dunst is in it.
As a major character, or just?
She's like a she's a one of the major characters, but she's not like the Crow or anything like that.
I can just imagine her being the Crow.
Right. Yeah, it was an interesting movie. I remember I from what I remember, it wasn't a bad movie, but it was a different take on the storyline.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll be our next movie. Next week after that, we have the specials. After that,
Did we just watch the specials?
right. After that, we have Unbreakable, and then we end this list with X-Men.
Boo.
Yeah, there we go.
Wet fart.
The wet part of X-Men. Dun, 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 is not that one. You guys ready to wrap this up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better as Well podcast. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify.
Yep.
And we got a WordPress, so check that out.
Yep.
Where you at, Merc?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Merc the Mic. Follow also our Facebook pages, the RedCycloneInc and the Wrestling Babble. We are very active on there, especially during pay-per-views. Enjoy the conversation. Also, Spotify, yeah, like you said, it's the easiest way to listen to our cast. RedCycloneInc. We have the weekly, the Gets Better, I Swear, and the Wrestling Babble, and we got the monthly, the Morphin Cast, I guess, Shell Shock, the Game of Rage, and Not a Trekkie. We have new ones going to be recorded tomorrow, so we have Not a Trekkie and a Morphin Cast coming to you soon.
Nice.
Peace out, and check out our Shell Shock. We did season 7. We are working on season 8, 9, and 10. And the crazy thing is, I'm actually enjoying 8, 9, and 10 more than I liked a lot of the other ones.
Okay, that's very interesting.
It's consistent story. That's why.
Mm.
It's not the greatest.